Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me show the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Givenchy Antigona Small. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work, let's do your laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question, I had two people ask similar questions, so I kind of fused them together. They were from Scent Lover and Blushing Gorgeous. Any thoughts on the Chanel lawsuit against The RealReal? I read an article that said that Chanel filed a lawsuit against The RealReal for selling unauthentic items. It also stated that Chanel does not like these reseller websites selling their items. Do you think that Chanel will go after other reseller websites? Alright, so for those of you that don't know, Chanel filed a lawsuit against The RealReal about 2 weeks ago, stating that they had a few different handbags on their website that were not authentic. I believe it was either 5 or 7 or something like that. And they also felt that they were kind of duping their customers into thinking that they were affiliated with the brand, which of course they are not. There's a few articles on it, and I will make sure and put links on the description box below if you guys want to check it out. But it's kind of a mess. Now, as far as my personal thoughts on it, I have to say, in my opinion, I am not surprised that there is a lawsuit against them for selling items that are not authentic. This is not the first time. It happened a few other times last year. So once again, I am not surprised by this. And from a business standpoint, as far as Chanel, I completely understand where they're coming from, because I think that with any business or with any brand, you don't want your reputation to be tarnished by something like this, especially when it comes to luxury goods. You want to make sure that, you know, you have good publicity and you don't have any type of negativity, right? So I completely understand that you don't want to tarnish, as I said before, your brand or your image. But from a consumer standpoint, I feel that maybe they are trying to kind of muddy it a little bit, because of course they're going to want you to go into the boutique and pay full price. They don't want you to get a classic flap at a discounted price. They don't want you to get a small leather good going through the pre-loved route instead of going through the boutique. You know, so I kind of see it both ways. I see it from a business standpoint, and I also see it from a consumer standpoint, because it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of crazy. And do I think that Chanel will go after other resellers' websites? Possibly. There is that chance, you know, but I think that at the end of the day, if you are in the resale business, you better be 100% sure of what it is that you're selling. And if you say that it's authentic, it better be 100% authentic. There can't be a single shred of doubt. And sometimes I have even wondered if a lot of these fashion houses, not necessarily just Chanel, but I wonder if these fashion houses end up having a small detail on each of their handbags and on each of their small leather goods that of course they're not going to tell the public, letting them know that the item is 100% authentic. You know, so sometimes that does go through my mind, and I'm not trying to scare anybody when it comes to authenticity, you know, through the pre-loved market or anything like that, but that is something to consider, because I feel that with those super fakes out there, it's getting harder and harder to tell them apart. And maybe there is that one thing that they add to it that only the fashion house, that only the artisans know about it, you know? So I don't know, call me crazy, but as I said previously, it's kind of a mess. It's not the first time that that's happened, but this is 100% my opinion, and I cannot express that enough. But hopefully everything gets resolved. But I feel that when it comes to the pre-loved market, you just have to be very, very careful as to what you end up stating and what you end up saying, because I feel that once that doubt starts to kind of cloud the overall industry, it can get kind of crazy, you know, especially because the pre-loved market is such a lucrative business right now, you know, with all the increases constantly coming up 2-3 times a year from different fashion houses. A lot more people are turning towards the pre-loved market. So I don't know, but this is an awesome question. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's a possibility that maybe there is that detail that I was talking about? Do you see it from a consumer standpoint? Do you see it from a business standpoint? Like I said, I feel that it's all over the place, but hopefully everything gets resolved. And you know, best of luck to both brands. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Kate Minnell. Hopefully I said that correctly. Could you please discuss the importance of choosing the right hardware for the Chanel Classic Medium Large Flap? What did you consider when you chose the silver hardware? Is it because for variety in your collection? Did you consider your age, jewelries that you wear, or is it because it just suits your personality and lifestyle more? I know gold is more popular and beautiful than silver, and for me, gold is elegant and dressy, but flashy on me, while silver is young, casual, but simple. Aside from the above, if I love the look of gold so much, but I'm much more comfortable being simple and casual, how do I choose? This is an awesome question. And when I was looking at the silver hardware, for me, it was really about adding variety to my collection, because at that point I had the jumbo that had the gold hardware. I also had the wallet on chain as well as the GST. So all those had that combination. So I just wanted a little bit more variety when it came to the medium large. And I never consider my age, and I never consider my jewelry either, because with that I feel that I'm always mixing and matching my metals. So sometimes I wear gold with silver, sometimes it's all gold, sometimes it's all silver. It's all a matter of personal preference or what I want to wear that day. So I never really end up matching my jewelry to my handbag. But I wanted to bring out the jumbo and the medium large so we have a little bit more eye candy. So here is the jumbo with the black caviar leather and the gold hardware. And here is the medium and the black caviar and the silver hardware. And it's funny because I've done polls like on Instagram to see what people think. And even though I like this one because it adds variety to my collection, I am still hands down a black and gold type of person. There's just something about this combo that I really appreciate. I think that both of them are very easy to dress up and dress down. Between the two, I would have to agree with you that this one is just a tad more casual. It's maybe not as flashy, but not by much, because I feel that if you are in a formal setting, both of them would look fantastic. If you are in a very casual setting, I think that both of them would look fantastic. But as I was saying, when it comes to that poll, it was kind of 50-50. 50% of the people felt that the black and gold was maybe a little too mature if you're in your early 20s or even in your early 30s. And they felt that the silver was a little bit more youthful, and then vice versa. So it was kind of like split, like smack down the middle. So what I would suggest, 100%, hands down, go for the bag that you feel the most comfortable with. Because I feel that if you like the look of the gold, but it's kind of one of those things that you like from afar, there's a chance that you won't use it as much as going for the one that you feel very comfortable in, that being the silver hardware. I think that both of them are beautiful. Both of them hold their resale value insanely well. It's just a matter of personal preference, because there might be someone out there that might be a little bit younger, a little bit older, that wants that black and gold combo, just like they might want that black and silver combo. So I would say follow your heart, and if the silver hardware makes you feel comfortable, if it makes you feel, something a little bit different, I wouldn't necessarily go for the one that might be the most popular. Like I said, I think it's 50-50. It comes down to personal preference, but I think that they are both insanely gorgeous. What do you guys think? Let me put them side by side. Do you feel that one is more youthful than the other? Do you feel that one looks a little bit more mature than the other? I don't know. I use this bag to death, but not so much because of the hardware that it has either. So I thought I'd throw that out there just in case, because if this had the gold hardware, I would still use it just the same. It's just the size that I appreciate about it the most, because this guy, I love it. It is crazy heavy on me, but if it had the gold hardware, I would still use it the same amount of time. It has nothing to do with hardware for me. So once again, follow your heart, and hopefully this was able to give you a little bit more information. Next question from QN. I'm not going to try to pronounce your first name because I know I will butcher it, so my apologies. I know you do not own the kirigami set from Louis Vuitton. But I would like to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think it is practical or merely just a novelty collector's item? I have had many chances to purchase the set on multiple occasions from my sales associate, but never pulled the trigger, as I have no idea what uses I will be getting out of the 3 pouches. If you were to own this set, what uses would you have for each individual pouch? All right, so I love the kirigami set. I remember when it first came out, I was super intrigued by it. I asked my sales associate if she could set one aside. And do I think that it's practical or merely just a novelty collector's item? I personally feel that it's very practical because I find it to be incredibly versatile. You guys know how I feel about small leather goods and versatility. And I think that the possibilities are endless when it comes to this set. You know, as you stated, there are 3 different pouches. You have a small, medium, and a large. And the only reason why I decided to pass on it was because I felt that I had small leather goods that I use quite often that would pretty much end up doing the same thing as that set. But do I think that it's great? Absolutely, I do. Now, if I was to own it, the smaller one, I would use it as a wallet or a card holder. The medium one, because it's very similar in size to the mini Pochette, I would use it that same way. So I'd kind of use it as a catch-all. And the larger one, I imagine that I would use it either as a clutch or as a cosmetics case. Because even though they are slender, you can still get away with carrying quite a bit of items inside of each one, you know? So I think that they are adorable, absolutely. And I know that they've gained a lot more popularity since they first came out. You know, they're a little bit harder to find in boutiques, but I think that they're great. So if you don't have a mini Pochette, if you don't have a card holder that you really end up gravitating towards, I feel that the smallest one on this set, even though, like I said before, it's somewhat slender, you can still fit quite a few cards in there as well. So if you don't have those other items, like the ones that I told you that I have, then I think that this is an awesome, awesome set. Awesome, awesome price point as well, especially for 3 different small leather goods. You know, and I've seen a lot of people that maybe just want one out of the 3 and then they end up selling the other 2. And the prices for the other 2, or if you get one single, like a single one on the pre-loved market, they're insane. They're more than the actual set, you know? So I think that it's great. And if your heart is singing for it, I absolutely recommend going for it. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Lux CC. I found 2 Louis Vuitton fine jewelry pieces, both in white gold, that I'm interested in. What do you think about their fine jewelry? Do you have any insight on the warranty or maintenance, if any? All right, so their fine jewelry, I think that it is absolutely gorgeous. And in my opinion, it's very comparable to any other fine jewelry brand out there. But I think that they're beautiful. I love the details. I love the craftsmanship. And as far as the warranty I'm not too sure. But as far as maintenance goes, even if you go into the website, it says that if you need it to be refreshed or if it needs to be polished, to take it into the jewelry specialist for Louis Vuitton only, you know. But I think that they're beautiful. Some of the details, as I said before, that they have, they're so dainty, and oh man, they are just gorgeous. I know that not all boutiques end up carrying their fine jewelry. The one that I go to ends up getting it a few times a year, and the times that I have been able to kind of check out their items, I think that they're great. I think that they're absolutely beautiful. When we were in Hawaii, they had like a completely different sections, I mean, solely for fine jewelry, and the pieces that they had were incredible. We're talking about diamond necklaces that were $500,000, $250,000. I mean, you walk in and you just see diamonds everywhere, and they are just they are just stunning. So I am a big, big fan of their fine jewelry. But again, as far as the warranty goes, I would end up calling your sales associate, or I would call the boutique just to get a little bit more information on that. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Jackie Fuller. Question about the mini Pochette. Do you find that the chain scratches the inside of your bag or other small leather goods in your bag? I have a Neverfull with the rose ballerine interior, and I'm paranoid about getting the Pichette because of this reason. All right, so we have a little bit more eye candy. Here is the mini Pochette, and I personally have not had any issues with the chain scratching any of my small leather goods or the lining of any of my handbags. There was a time that I felt that maybe if I ended up overstuffing the bag too much, that this chain would kind of leave an indentation on my leather-lined handbags, such as my my classic flaps. But nope, haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. I think just because of the finish that it has, it's very, very smooth. There are no edges that I feel will end up causing it to, you know, to kind of damage any of the lining of my handbags. But nope, no problems whatsoever. But what I will say is that I don't end up carrying the same bag for extended periods of time either. But I put it inside of my Neverfull. I put it inside of my larger handbags where there really isn't too much organization, and even then I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. So I imagine you would be okay, but yep, no problems with this little guy. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Rosemary Pong. I'm curious to know if you'd ever add a Speedy 25 bandouliere in Damier Ben to your collection, because I know your love of Damier Ben. I think that print is insanely gorgeous. I love that it's not too loud. I love that it's the original, and come on, that red interior is just jaw-droppingly gorgeous, right? But as far as the 25 bandouliere, I don't foresee myself adding it to my collection anytime soon. Of course, never say never. But I have gone into the boutique multiple times to try it on and see if I end up changing my mind on it. And what it comes down to is that I find it to be incredibly uncomfortable on my chest. And since I do like to use the 25 bandouliere as a crossbody bag, I know that it'll just end up rubbing either right up on my shoulder a little too much, or it'll just end up hitting my chest a little too close for comfort. And I have gone in there in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, you know, with different types of outfits to see if I can maybe get past it. And it's one of those bags that I really appreciate from afar, you know. And while I do love the fact that it does have that color treated leather because it makes it so incredibly carefree, I just can't get past how uncomfortable it is for myself. You know, like I said, I tried wearing different outfits, and every time I'm like, I love it, I love it, I love it. But, you know, so until that but goes away, I don't foresee myself adding it to my collection. But I think it is insanely, insanely gorgeous. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Ms. Joya. Hopefully I said that correctly. Any thoughts on the Pichette Felici? I'm considering to get one this Christmas. I have a Neverfull and a Speedy B already, and I want to add another bag to my collection. All right, so before I get any further, let me insert a picture of the Felici right now. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it is a stunning piece. And since you already have a Neverfull and you already have a Speedy, I think that by going for this one, it would really add a really nice variety to your collection. But as far as the Felici goes, there are so many different details, so many different aspects about it that I appreciate. I love the fact that you have different prints to go for. You can also go for different types of leather, whether it's epi or whether you want to go for the empreinte leather. And out of everything that it's available in, I really like the empreinte leather the most. There's just something about it, you know, so I love that. And let's not forget, the number one thing that I appreciate about this the most is the versatility that it has. My goodness. The bag itself, you can take off the chain and use it as a little clutch. You can use it as a handbag, but not only that, it comes with two separate small leather goods that you can use as card holders. Of course, if you use them inside of the Felici, it takes away from anything else that you can carry. So you have to go very, very minimal whenever you carry those items with you. But the fact that you can use those card holders in other aspects of your life, I think it is amazing. I feel like this handbag offers so incredibly much, especially for the price point, you know? Because the canvas starts a little over $1,000 and the all leather ones start at $1,200 or $1,250 if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, someone said it perfectly in the comments of this question that it's kind of like a Chanel wallet on chain without that crazy price point, you know, but I think that it is wonderful. I absolutely think that you should go for it, but it's all a matter of personal preference. But if your heart is singing for it, I say go for it because it is, I feel like it offers so incredibly much. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. And the last question from Melissa Morales, would you ever get a Givenchy handbag in smooth leather? I'm a big fan of smooth leather. I wasn't always. For the longest time, I thought that for Givenchy smooth leather handbags, I felt that they would get scratched very, very easily and they'd start to look, you know, very worn after a short period of time. But after talking to a sales associate a couple months ago from the brand, they had said that they actually ended up putting a special coating on top of their leather to make sure that it's not as, to make it a little bit more durable and to ensure that it doesn't scratch as easily. So I think that that's amazing. So not only is it durable, it's beautiful. And I feel that with smooth leather, they capture the colors so nicely, you know, but as far as the silhouette, any type of silhouette, I appreciate them, but not necessarily for myself, especially when it comes down to the Antigona. I love this bag and I personally like it a little bit more when it comes to the pebble leather. I like the detail that the leather has on there, but I still think that the smooth leather looks incredible. So it wouldn't be from Givenchy, but it would end up being from Celine. Celine has a handbag that started to creep its way into, into my field of vision, and I absolutely love it in that smooth leather. So not necessarily from one fashion house, but maybe in another. But I definitely wanted to throw that out there just in case you guys are wondering about the durability when it comes to smooth leather, or if you're wanting to add an Antigona to your collection in that type of finish. It's very, very durable and definitely not what I once thought it was, So again, I just want to throw that out there. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. For this week's lineup, I have 2 other videos for you, Wednesday and Friday. If not Friday, it'll be Saturday. But this week I will not be able to do a handbag of the week, just because I want to be able to do another video for you. It might get a little bit crazy when it comes to handbag of the week for the remainder of December. I will still try my hardest to get it out there, and if not, then they will be back in January. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. I'm trying to say that a little bit slower because I feel like it's getting harder and harder to say it, and sometimes I think that, I don't know, I feel like I'm saying it a million miles a minute. So I'm trying to go slow and not say it so fast. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.